Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Sunday, March 2nd. Yes, folks, it's Sunday. And I know you're used to the Money Watch Show dropping on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we have shifted, as promised, to weekends. And this is part of a broader strategy change. And I would like to introduce my co-host, Mark Tlares, who I am Jill Schlesinger. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Jill. Happy Sunday.
I'm so excited about this, like essentially a rebrand of the Money Watch Show, because what we've done is we've been doing the Money Watch Show and it's been great. We love it. But we decided we really wanted to differentiate this show from our Monday through Friday show. And the Monday through Friday show, Mark, it's just that, you know, our people are just way too advanced in some respects. And I felt like we were glossing over a lot of really great questions and listeners who wanted a bit of a little bit more of a building block to get to the Jill on Money show. So Money Watch we are hoping with the Money Watch show to provide you with the essential building blocks so that you can take control of your financial life. So we're going to incorporate your questions into the show, whether they're emails or whether you want to join us live. We're going to use segments that I've done on CBS Mornings. We're going to do anything that we think will help you refocus on the basics of everything you're encountering in your financial life. So, Mark, are you excited about this rebrand?
So as you said all that, I'm thinking Monday through Friday is the Jillionaires.
Yes.
And Saturday and Sunday is what we call the Henrys.
Oh, the Henrys, the high earners, not rich yet. Oh, yes. That's it. I like that. Okay. Or the Henriettas, but I don't want to actually think about how to do all that. You know, Henrietta. So listen, if you've got a question, just go to jillonmoney.com, click the contact us button. And if you want to join us live, check that box. Mark will do everything else. And Mark, I'm really psyched for this. I'm very, very encouraged by how the folks over at Paramount Global, they're psyched about it, and how we're just kind of I don't know, like it's always good to get a little shot in the arm. Good to get somebody who says, let's do this a little bit differently. And so we are very hopeful that you will enjoy this, that you'll pass this along to people that you think can enjoy it. And who doesn't like to go back to basics? You know, as an aging athlete, Mark, I'm the kind of gal who likes to shoot 100 free throws, just to calm my mind. I used to be part of a very successful soccer team in my high school. And one of the things that my coach used to say is, I want you to be able to always, if you get a penalty shot, that is a shot, that is a goal. And if you miss that, we are very disappointed. Like he put the pressure on. So
wow.
Yeah.
Giving the goalkeeper no credit at all.
No credit. Because, it's a very big goal. It's really hard to get.
Right. But you could be going against Hope Solo,
You could be. Oh, that's a good one. What a throwback. Okay. Hey, Mark, let's get to our listener. We are going to Janet, who's joining us from Michigan.
So I have been digging into our finances more. I wasn't exactly an ostrich, but I think just life was crazy. I have 2 young kids and I'm starting to just peel back the layers of things. And I just need some advice. We broke up with our financial advisor last year. So
wait, stop. How did that go?
We really didn't say anything. We kind of just, I guess, ghosted him.
You ghosted your FA? That is awesome.
Yes.
I don't usually, didn't they try to come chase you down?
No, haven't heard from him.
Well, there you go.
That's
right
bizarre.
That was the right decision.
Oh my gosh, because usually they're quite tenacious. And I, as one of those I did this a long time ago. So it's been like 18 years or something since I've done that. But when I was an advisor and somebody left, I hunted them down like a wild dog. But not to tell them, I didn't want to actually convince them to stay. I did want to know why they were leaving. That was the most important thing to me. So why did you ghost your FA?
Well, as I had started educating myself more, I realized he was really more of a broker, and we had never had a financial plan set out for us ever.
Ooh.
Nothing to say, okay, here's our roadmap. It was really just selling
stuff.
Product. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like that was a good idea on your part to get out of that relationship. So tell us a little bit about you. So how old are you, Janet?
I'm 36.
And you have a spouse?
Yep. He is 38.
And are you both working full time?
Right now, just him.
Okay. 2 young kids. How young?
Yep. 4 and 1.
Oh boy, that's young.
Yes.
Okay. And how much does your husband earn right now?
Oh, I was just doing our taxes last year, 365.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot of money in Michigan.
It is a lot of money. And I think another reason I wanted to call you was because I feel like we should have more saved, or we shouldn't be like, we spend a lot of money. And I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, we're spending too much. So,
you know what? We just had a guy who wouldn't give himself permission to spend money. We were just talking to somebody. Let's see, maybe you're in better shape than you think. So on the 365 grand a year that you earn, is he putting money into a retirement account?
yes.
What's he maxing
it out? Yeah.
Okay. 401k, is that what he has?
It's a 401k, and so far it's all traditional.
Okay. And how much is in there?
I was trying to get him to log in and he didn't, but I think ballpark like 160, 180, something like that.
All right. I'll say 170 just for the heck of it. Okay. So, and he's maxing it out. Does he get a match?
Yes. I'm not sure what the match is.
Okay. All right. He works for a private company?
Yes.
Okay. So, no pension that's going to be available to him. Is that right?
No pension.
Okay. And what about other savings that you guys have done besides this workplace plan?
So we both have Roths.
Mm-hmm. How much is in that?
So I have 60 in mine.
Mm-hmm.
He has 143 in his.
Okay. And are you guys doing backdoor Roths right now?
Yes. So for him, we had actually just bit the bullet and done conversions from a previous rollover. And so now this year going forward, he's eligible for backdoor.
Okay. What about money in a brokerage account? Anything there?
Yes, we have 28,000 in there.
Okay, that's great. How are you investing that? I mean, I know you had somebody who, sold you a bunch of stuff, but what are you doing now?
Well, I really haven't changed much. I just started to wrap my head around it, and mostly we're in mutual funds.
Okay. And any other investment accounts?
Yeah, I have an old 401k. It has 66,000 in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have HSA with 70K. And then we have 529s for our kids.
Oh, tell me, what's in there?
So the 4-year-old has 33,000.
Okay.
And the 1-year-old has 11. Okay.
Are you putting money in on an ongoing basis?
Yes. Every month we do 500 a month for each kid.
Okay. 500 a month. Now, because your husband is the sole wage earner right now, I'm presuming there's a bunch of life insurance on him. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you got?
Our broker had him increase it a couple years ago. He has like 5 million.
Oh my God.
I know it sounds like a lot, right?
Term life?
Yes.
Okay, good. And what about for you?
Mine's 500,000.
You probably need more.
I think so too, because my unpaid job, when I look at those articles about how much I would actually be making for all my jobs, it's a lot. Like he would have to pay for a lot of help.
Well, just think about that for a second. You have children, babies, right? I mean, the amount of care that would be, so it would be one of two things usually would happen. One is you'd have to hire, Mary Poppins for 100 grand a year at least, right? Or he's going to work less and earn less. And, so all of that you need more. I mean, I'm guessing you need another $1 million. Are you healthy?
Yes.
Okay. So what about money in the bank, Janet?
We have in like an emergency fund account, 50 grand.
Great.
And then like our checking floats between like probably, there's usually at least 10 in there plus whatever comes in.
Does your husband, is he getting that 365 as full on wage or is it a bonus also?
That includes some productivity bonuses.
Okay. So in your cash flow, just like the money coming in, the money coming out. We know he's putting money into the 401k. you guys are putting, the $1,000 a month into the kids' 529 accounts. Is there any money that you're putting into other accounts? Are you adding money? I know you haven't done the Roths yet, but are you adding money to the brokerage on a monthly basis?
We were doing that, and then we stopped. I feel like we've been doing a lot of house improvements that were just cash flowing. And I think, sometimes it's like, oh gosh, that credit card bill's a little high. And so we've pulled back with making regular contributions to the brokerage, but we had been doing that. It was actually at 75,000 last year, but we bought a minivan, and we bought it outright. So we just
sucked it up.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. How much is your house worth?
It's worth probably about 500.
And how about the mortgage that's outstanding? What's there?
It's like 303, and then our rate is 2.875.
You're not prepaying that, are you? You're just keeping. Okay, very good. So, all right. So you did. Is the work mostly done on the house?
No.
What? I was so excited. I was ready to save a whole bunch of money. Come on.
No,
well, how much more do you have to spend on it?
Oh my gosh, Jill. We feel like it's probably like 150 to 200 grand more.
Should we just move?
Well, I know we are like really in a predicament with it. We've considered moving. We're kind of a little bit farther from town, and we've thought about moving closer to town where we could ride a bike. We have a weird problem, and this is going to sound so weird to New Yorkers.
Okay.
But
we have too much space.
No, actually, and that we have the perfect amount of space, and I think that's wonderful. But we do not have access to city water for drinking water. Yes, we are in a neighborhood. We are not in the country. Okay. But our neighborhood has like a water main for municipal water, but our little teeny offshoot street of about 12 homes does not, because there's a curmudgeon neighbor who prevented it from coming in like 30 years ago. He's still alive. I tried bringing it to our local township to extend it, and everyone voted it down because no one wanted to pay for it.
Oh my God, these idiots.
So we all have these wells, and the well water has arsenic in it that's higher. Yes, it's higher than what's allowed by the EPA. And so we had to like remediate that with a filter. So whatever, we've figured it out, but our well is super old, terrible water pressure. We want city water. We're like, we do not live in the country for a reason.
Right.
So we've been like, okay, let's just say, screw it and move.
Right.
And they forget this low mortgage rate. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And the amount of money we still want to put into the house.
All right. So we know that you need to spend 150 grand more, at least, as you said. And if you were to do that, you'd have to cash flow most of it, right? You'd have to do it. You're not doing it unless you're going to get, I guess you could get a home equity loan or line of credit, but your cash flow is probably pretty good right now. So
would you be able to sell it? Would somebody buy it knowing this issue exists?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, we would have to disclose it. One of the neighbors did sell their home for over $500,000 with this issue.
Okay, so that's why you're comfortable saying it's a $500,000 house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just pretend that you go and you look closer to town with your city water. How much do we have to spend on that house?
I would think like 800.
It's not bad. I thought you were going to say $1 million, so I was bracing for it. Okay.
I think like 9 tops.
No, wait, Mark, did you notice that? 800? 9.
Within 10 seconds, it went up by 100,000.
Geez. What should we just say $1 million? Because that's probably what it's going to be.
Sure.
Okay. Mark, the $1 million. Okay. Let's say they sell their house and they give up their delicious 2.875% loan. And we put 200 grand down. So they're going to have an $800,000 mortgage at whatever, 7%. Okay. What's the payment on that?
About $5,300.
Is that scary to you, Janet?
7%. You'll eventually refi. Don't know when.
But let's just say the $5,300 for now. Is that freaking you out, Janet?
I think we could do it. It freaks my husband out. It
But I'm
totally
freaked.
freaks him out.
I know, but he's going to be close to it anyway because you're going to have to spend this 150 grand. And
Right.
what are we going to do about that?
Right. I know I was calculating because we opened a HELOC. We've never used it, but we opened it just to have that
Yeah,
available.
sure.
And the rates on those also are high.
Yeah, they're stinky also. In
Yeah.
fact, they may even be higher. I'm not even sure what the HELOC looks like.
I think it is higher.
I think that we need to really look at this in a much more serious way.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a lot of money. You guys are young, okay? So you're under the age of 40. And if you're going to do something like this, I would rather you make this decision now rather than wait. Because I think this is the moment where you're like, okay, I have the kids. They're young. I don't have to worry about stupid schools one way or the other, right? You're going to be you're going to move yourself to the right school system with these kids. And you're going to be in the house that you probably should have purchased to begin with, but who knew about the whole water thing? Like, I don't love the word. Arsenic is right up there with things you just want to avoid, malignant, arsenic, bad words. Mark, what do you think about taking the plunge and giving up this low rate that they have?
Yeah, the rate wouldn't work. That's not going to stop me. I mean, it didn't stop me personally. I mean, I don't think I could deal with such a situation like this.
I just feel like the 150, if you think it's 150, it's probably 200. And that means you're going to spend 700. You're going to be in this house, this $700,000 house. Just think of it this way. Either we're in a $700,000 house or $1 million house, right? It's not that big a difference, that 300 grand. And I'm not even sure you're going to be able to extract the equity from this house just because of this issue. So even when you say you've got remediation and you've done all the work, you still don't have city water.
Totally.
That's an issue.
I know. We had so many contractors and the head of the city water people out here. Yeah. And we looked at going 500 feet across a ball field to connect for just our home since our neighbors were not supportive.
Oh my God, these terrible people.
It was just outrageous, but we're willing to do it in some ways, but the township claims that they're working on a bid to bring it to our little cul-de-sac so 4 homes could connect.
Okay.
And so that's a glimmer of hope.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are still things about this home we would want to change and invest the money into it. So it's okay, if we do get city water and we spend 150,
yep.
I still think in reality it might be over improving for the neighborhood.
I get that. I hear what you're saying. So, okay. So now what I do think is interesting is I think you have the cash flow to do this, to be able to make this work. I think that the issue is you need someone to actually put this down on paper. So although you have this old financial advisor who never did a financial plan, is exactly what I think you might need, which is a financial plan. So you have great money saved already, right? The 170 in the current 401k that your husband has, the 2 Roths, the 143, the 60, your old 401k at 66, the HSA, all this is all great. Okay. You've saved 2, 3, 4, you almost have $500,000 saved basically, which is great. You're under the age of 40. You've got 2 young kids, tons of upside in your husband's career. You're probably looking ahead and trying to figure out how do we, I'm worried that you're going to be in this place that is a money pit and that you're going to end up with the same $1 million house, except you don't get everything you want.
Totally
That's my
true.
concern. That's my concern. So Mark, what do you think is the next move for Janet and her husband?
Having a conversation, because I think she's on board with us, but it sounds like he's going to be freaked out. I mean,
I have an idea though. I'm wondering if we have somebody sketch this out for them who can really look at this and create a plan.
And he's got to see it.
He has to, right? Would you agree with that, Janet? That if he were to see it by a third party, it would be more helpful.
100%. We talk about this. We go round and around. Are we staying? Are we moving? Are we staying? Are we moving? And he's a frugal guy. And I think he would need that third party to say, here it is.
So maybe we can find somebody who can just sketch out a plan for you and not desperately want to take over your assets. Because I don't know if you need to have somebody manage the money or not, but it doesn't sound like that's your number one issue. Your number one issue right now is putting a plan together. So I want to try to find you a couple of names of folks who can do that. And this to me is the primary issue. And I think if we don't actually attack this as the primary issue, everything else, it's all the other stuff's going to fall in place. The investments, mutual funds, it's all fine. You're going to be fine. And we just need to make sure that biting off this new home is doable. And then also it's just like you stop having this issue, because even if you did spend the 150, which I don't believe will be 150, I think it'll be more. It feels like it's just going to continue to be stress for you guys. Who needs the stress? You got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. They already have a little arsenic in their blood. I mean, do they glow? Is that
my God. I was pregnant with the second when we found out about the arsenic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I was freaking out.
I don't blame you.
He's fine.
I mean, they're fine. They're resilient. Lead, arsenic, anything. I mean, Michigan, not great with the water. Evidently.
Oh, I know, right?
Jeez.
Terrible reputation.
Couple of other things. So we need to get you more term life insurance. Do you guys have your estate docs done?
We do. I think it'd be worth revisiting. Like the second child hasn't had his name put in there, and just those little bits of things.
Okay. Well, let's get that done. From there, we will do one step at a time, and then you'll come back on and you'll make sure that we know what your update is, because this is a fascinating but terrible story. And, look, everything is good. You are making a lot of money. You've got money saved. There's nothing bad that's out here. This house thing is just, it is the anvil on your backs. And that's what I want to try to get rid of that. And I think once you have at least once you have the numbers, you'll have more, I think you'll have more confidence in whatever decision you make. Either way.
Yes,
Make
I totally
sense?
agree.
Okay. If you are like Janet and you need some assistance, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note. And if you want to join us live, just check the box. Mark will do everything else. Don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. Comes out every Friday. Boy, what a great way to warm up for this weekend program. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And we are just always delighted that you are passing along this podcast. Again, for anyone who you think needs a refresher or needs some help with their financial lives and want to start from scratch, or maybe just coming out of a situation that's changed, make sure they hear this podcast. Mark Talerso is the co-host and executive producer and king of all things web for me, Jill on Money. We drop our episodes here on Saturdays and Sundays. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And don't forget to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.